Hello and welcome to World Civilizations class. We are going over our world leaders list. And you should have a sheet that looks like this. And it says world leaders on the top, and you'll put the name of the world leader. You'll put the country they're from, their term limits, and an interesting fact about them. And we do 3 of these a week because normally a history class meets 3 times. And at the end of the semester, when you turn it in, it is worth 50 points, as long as you have all the leaders and all the information filled out. Okay, so today we are doing these world leaders. Okay, you can hit the stop button if you like, or the pause button, I'm sorry, and you can write them down. Number 19 is President Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan from United Arab Emirates. 20 is Prime Minister Paolo Gentiloni of Italy. I'm totally butchering his name. And 21 is President John Magufuli from Tanzania. Okay, so let's go ahead and point out where these different countries are on our map behind us. United Arab Emirates is right here, okay, in the Middle East. And then we have Italy, and you probably know Italy from the boot in Europe. And then we have Tanzania, and Tanzania is on the eastern coast of Africa, okay? So we talked about Madagascar before, and here's Tanzania. Okay, so 2 of these kind of are feeding or, touching or close to the Indian Ocean. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first one we have is United Arab Emirates, and it says that they're elected and it's a president. But this is really interesting because it's both a president and a king, because the United Arab Emirates is a bunch of royal countries together, their royalty, and then the royalty gets together, and they are the ones who vote on the president to rule them. And of course, we know the capital is Dubai. And one reason I wanted to bring that to the forefront is because recently I heard a friend of mine that I just made went snowboarding in Dubai for the first time. That's where he first snowboarded. And they have an indoor mall for snowboarding and skiing because it is such a wealthy nation. If you look up United Arab Emirates, there's 9 million people in, I don't know if it's Dubai or United Arab Emirates. Anyway, like 8 million of them are expatriates. So they're from other countries and they have moved there. Okay, so it's supposed to be every 5 years they vote, but this man has been in power for, I believe it said 2004. So he is past his time period. But I'm not really sure that that's super important to that country. So they also have a prime minister as well. So he's the president. It's also a royalty. He's also a king, president. And it's like they got all their bases covered. He is the 4th wealthiest world leader. He's worth quite a lot of money. And I think that's all I found out about him. Yeah, so they share it kind of. Okay. We want to see a picture of him, of course. So if you ever see him on TV. All right, here we go. There he is. Okay. Pictures. If you see him on TV or in the mall, you will recognize him. Okay. That is not him. Oh, there he is with the Queen of England. Okay, so the next person that we're going to look at is the Prime Minister of Italy. Now, Italy has a Prime Minister and Italy has a president. Again, they keep kind of double dipping. But if you look it up, you have to look it up and see which one has the head of state. Okay, and so the Prime Minister has the head of state. So let's talk about Paolo Gentiloni. He was the mayor of Rome at one point. His dad was a politician, but he actually went on to become a journalist. And then he went on to be a politician and was elected as a prime minister. There are no term limits because Parliament either backs or so their Parliament, whoever votes, so his party probably controls Parliament, and whoever votes on him, confidence in him or not, is whether or not he continues to be prime minister. He just had a heart attack January the 10th in Paris. And so, that really makes you think, what their country must be going through, because that has to be scary. Whether you vote for a president or not, it is your country's leader, and that would be a little terrifying. So he just had a heart attack, and that was listed in his information. So he is doing better and should recover fully, it looked like. Okay, so the next person that we're going to take a look at is John Magufuli, and he is the president of Tanzania. Tanzania has a 5-year term limit and is only renewable one time. This man went to school to be a chemistry and history teacher, which that's fantastic because we love history, of course. And he went on to get his master's and doctorate in chemistry. And so his name is Dr. John Magufuli. And he is the president of Tanzania. And I thought that was really interesting. He went on to get his doctorate. All right, so here are some different pictures of him. And he really likes to wear the different green and yellow for his country, which I think that's neat. In our country, we wear a lot of red. A lot of the politicians wear a lot of red and blue quite often. So it was just interesting, we don't think about that. He's got the green of Tanzania, the Tanzanian flag. I even saw him in some yellow. So, all right. There he is. Oh, he's laughing and having a good time, and there he is. And we forgot to take a look at Paolo Gentiloni. Let's take a look at him. Prime Minister of Italy. Whoopsie daisy. Parting his hair in the middle. Maybe it'll come back. Might be the style in their culture. We're all very different. All right. Okay. So hopefully that will help you just get a handle on that. And if there's something in these world leader lists that we're doing and something sparks your interest, I would really encourage you to do further research on your own, because you know what? We really are just lifelong learners. And we really need to step outside of ourselves in the United States. We get so focused. One of our words is ethnocentrism or Eurocentrism. We get so focused on ourselves and then all these problems, and then we think that we can't solve them. And there's so many different ways to solve them. And there's so many different countries we can learn from, and so many different, world leaders as well that we can learn from. And hopefully that will continue. All right. Have a great night. Thanks.